Hello everyone, it's Dutchmaster and welcome to this brand new video. So first of all, everyone, Merry Christmas. I know that I might be late and many of you might not be actually seeing this on Christmas. I'm recording this just before Christmas Eve and I realized that that might be sort of late for a Christmas speed build, but hey, at least it's here. And also it's a modern Christmas build, so not exactly what you might expect. Normally Christmas builds are always, you know, cozy, huge houses with like crazy decorations and yeah, generally really like old-fashioned and or at least traditional. But I wanted to try to create a modern Christmas house for once, and actually it turned out to be really cool. If you ask me, it's mainly Christmassy because we've got all this snow around, but also inside there's like super many Christmas trees, and also outside I've added some decoration, not too much, simply because I wanted to keep it modern, but from the inside it's actually pretty warm and really looking nice. And I can imagine that this is like a really cool house to spend time with your family during Christmas, which is basically what it's all about probably, and which is also what I'll be doing during the upcoming days, because in the Netherlands, maybe I think I explained this in every Christmas video I made over the past 4 years, but in the Netherlands you've got first Christmas Day and second Christmas Day, sort of like Christmas Day and Boxing Day in the US, and maybe also in the UK, I'm not too sure, but like here in the Netherlands it's literally like 2 days of Christmas and then Christmas Eve the day before, which is today. And I believe that not in very many countries you've also got that like 2-day tradition. In the Netherlands generally we really like to add extra holidays to our holidays, just like we've added second Easter day on to Easter, which is sort of weird as well, I believe. But at least getting back to the video, or at least to this house, as you can see I've generally mainly built it in the snow environment, or at least now I'm only coming back and looking at it in sort of summer or at least regular view. But after I fixed like some of the terrain and looked and, you know, added some plants, I'm going back into the snow terrain just because I'm really focusing on the snowy landscape for this house, and I really wanted to make sure that the house would look good in the snow and not necessarily in summer. So you can definitely use this house in summer, and often if you will use the house you'll probably pass through all the different seasons. Thank God there are seasons, by the way, that we can finally, without any mods, use and have snow in the game. But aside from that, you can still use it in any season, but I've really focused on winter, and also the overview is in winter. And honestly, I haven't even looked back after this part at the house in like no sun or no snow environment, so I'm not too sure what it looks like right now, but I think it still looks sort of cool. Maybe the terrain is sort of like flat, or well, not necessarily flat, but sort of flat when it comes to the painting, because I haven't really focused on that, because you don't see it in the snow environment because it's only snow, obviously. But yeah, I think this one really turned out to be cool. It's very modern and minimalistic, but I really like the shape and the way, like the repetition of everything. I personally think this just turned out really cool with those two structures, with like one huge structure on it, which actually contains like all the living parts, and then you've got the entrance on one side, and I imagined having like some kind of servant little room in the other column, like super huge columns, and then in the middle no column at all, which I think in real life would maybe be possible, but probably not. You'll definitely need way thicker like beams and stuff, which is not something you've got to think about in The Sims, and also not something you see, but it wouldn't be able to be so slim and sleek in real life if you would want to create something like this. But you know, as long as you can use really large beams, I think it should be possible to make this in real life, but it wouldn't look as cool. And also under the house I've added a fireplace, and there I've got to warn you, in case you do download this house, whoops, I touched the mic. In case you do download this house from the gallery, which you can do by looking for gallery ID Dutch Sims Master, then you can definitely find this house if you look for like modern Christmas house. If you do download it, be sure to be cautious with the fireplace under the house, because it catches fire sort of easily, and you generally also, if you place a fireplace so near like the little sofas or the benches I added around it, they tend to catch fire as well. I only noticed that while recording it, like the after overview, and my sim just went there and put up the fire, and in a couple of seconds the entire place, not the entire house, but like all the benches and stuff were on fire. So you should probably look out with that. But generally, it's just a really cool house, which is definitely usable as well, I believe. Is there anything? Yeah, it is usable. Yes. No problem, I think. I have left one of the bedrooms open for you to decorate because I didn't really have that much time yet, and I also felt like you should be able to decide if you want to add like an extra living room, or no, I mean an extra bedroom, or just anything, maybe an extra living room, it's possible. Yeah, that's up to you to decide. And also tell me, what do you think of Christmas? Because like you have all those Christmas songs with like Christmas best time of the year, which I can imagine. However, for me personally, I think Christmas is always a lot of fun with like everyone around and just, you know, doing fun stuff, but it isn't necessarily like me wanting a Christmas to last like the entire year. I want it to be Christmas every day is probably not, yeah, not just simply not the case for me. I think I prefer like warm summer days, maybe more than Christmas. But Christmas is a lot of fun. But I'm curious to hear what you think of Christmas and also what you do with Christmas. Do you have like some kind of crazy tradition maybe? Do you always travel to like a new place or maybe the same place, or are you always with like the same people, which is generally something people do with Christmas? Me too. And generally like the different Christmas days are also for like different people to celebrate it with. I've always got like that huge Christmas dinner with like my best friends, which is like a really big tradition, and a couple of them live abroad now, and yeah, this was the first year that we were actually able to be there again, like with every one of us, which was fun. So that's really a tradition we've got. But I'm curious to read in the comments, like, do you have any maybe weird traditions which I would love to read about, or maybe cool travel plans or whatever. And also New Year's Eve is almost coming, which I find very much fun as well. Always just like looking back at the year. For me, New Year's Eve is really the moment to like look back at the year and sort of reevaluate, look at very many pictures. I just love to go through my phone and like see all the pictures I've taken, going back into Snapchat and seeing everything I saved, just looking back at Instagram, what happened. So actually this year I didn't really post that much, but a lot did happen. But it wasn't really a lot of YouTube stuff or YouTube related stuff, which happened this year. And yeah, that's just the way it went. I still really like to create videos. However, I'm still very busy with university and all the things I do with it. So therefore, I'm not always able to be as active, and definitely not upload like daily or a couple of times a week. I really try to upload every week, but so far that hasn't really succeeded yet. Yeah, I'll see how that goes this coming year. I still definitely want to continue making videos. I really hope there will be some really new cool content for The Sims as well. I look forward to that, and then we'll see how all that goes, I guess. And also I want to continue making SketchUp videos, or at least get back to it again, because I believe it's been like half a year since the last SketchUp video I created. But I've just got to figure all of that out, because I also want to create or do like the projects which I've talked about previously, like SketchUp projects where I design like houses and stuff for people, which are generally a lot of fun. And whenever I get like assignments like that, I always really like to work on that, and that also takes time away from YouTube, as you can probably imagine. But yeah, looking back at this year, also for YouTube, it's been maybe my least, like my worst year. Like the growth has really stagnated sort of. But at least this last month, it actually went pretty well again. And I'm always really happy to see that very many of you are happy to see the videos I still create, and to see that whenever I do upload, that you comment and like and subscribe, which I'm really happy about. Or well, actually many of you are subscribed already whenever you do that. But in case you haven't yet, please subscribe. It would really help me out. And then, yeah, I can't wait to see what next year will bring. For me, it's going to be quite some exciting things, quite some travels, which I'm really happy with. So yeah, New Year's Eve will be fun as well, but that's only like a week away. Now we first got Christmas, of course, to enjoy. So yeah, like I said, leave in the comments what your traditions are and whatever you're going to do, because I'm really interested to hear about that. And also, if you want to see more Christmas videos by me, don't forget to check out the Home Alone video I did. It was 2015. I only just shared it on like the YouTube page. Again, I believe the community tab is what you call it. And also on Twitter, just because I realized that, you know, before people would actually get this video, because I was sort of late, they should probably like be able to enjoy another video about Christmas by me. But that video is sort of old. I haven't actually watched it myself again, so I'm not too sure what I sound like. Probably it's sort of fun to watch back all like those Christmas videos I've done over the past few years, because you can really compare it easily in that way, like in what way my style has improved, and also maybe how I've begun to speak differently, and how my life has sort of changed as well, because, you know, I went from high school to university, and like sort of life-changing things happened. So it's sort of fun to compare that maybe, but yeah, probably those old videos are sort of embarrassing to watch as well. So I don't really advise you to check that out. You know, it's for your own safety. Maybe you shouldn't, but hey, it's up to you. And then here I'm working on the kitchen, by the way, because yeah, I was sort of struggling what style I should go for with the house. As you can see, I've gone for colorful, modern, hip design with quite some decorations, like Christmas decorations, which generally don't look really good, but at least, you know, it does make the house Christmassy, and it sort of belongs to a Christmas house. I'm not the biggest fan of like all those kitsch, like green stuff, but you know, the Christmas trees which were added with, I believe, seasons. Yeah, I believe it was seasons, or it was an update. I really like those. It's the one which I also added like in the dining room. Basically the only tree I've added in the house. In the end, I'm adding one more other tree, which was, I believe, also seasons. So if you want good trees, you should definitely go for seasons, or at least good Christmas trees, because I believe there wasn't any actual tree in seasons. Maybe I'm incorrect, then correct me if you do know how many trees there were, but I believe there were none, which I thought was a really big pity, because I always like to see more trees. Like, there's a couple of items which I always want more of, and that's trees, it's counters, or at least counters in the Sims, like kitchen counters. We generally just need more of them, but therefore I really like to have more. And windows. I think windows are the best thing to have, because windows are so important for like houses. Also, columns are really important, or at least I've got some design ideas for columns which I would really like to have. And also, yeah, doors. We don't have enough doors, but that sort of falls under like the tree of, you know, windows. And what do I want more? I think these are the most important ones. Yeah, like trees and plants are really important as well. And yeah, I think that's the thing I'm wanting most at this moment, and the tropical world. But I also mentioned that in a previous video, which was sort of cool as well. And build a house in a June, and very many of you seem to like it. It might sort of look this, well, not the same, but I can imagine that you see quite some clear similarities between this house and that house. They are different, however, they also are sort of in the same style. You know, that's just the style I'm currently in and the style I'm currently liking. And this was actually inspired by one of the case study houses, and now I should definitely know what those are and should be able to tell you more about it, but honestly I don't really know that much about it. These are like really famous architectural houses built in Los Angeles, and I believe there were like modernist architects trying to like create like sort of radical new designs, which were like very important for like modern day architecture, or at least were very new at the time they were built. Well, case study house 22, the style house, I believe it was 22. Yes, I think it is. That's like quite a famous house. And I actually looked up the design for a modern Christmas tree or a modern Christmas house, and that one showed up because it was in the advertisement for like a modern Christmas tree, which looks sort of cool. You could look it up. It might be fun. And then you also immediately see the house. And yeah, that was the house that inspired me to create this one. And what is cool, honestly, if you ask me, about this house is the fact that it seems to sort of float, because the columns are sort of like moved into the mountains, and therefore, or the mountains, the hills, the terrain that goes up, and therefore it seems like the house is floating. Sort of cool. And also a big part of the house is actually floating, so therefore it's sort of logical that it looks that way and creates that impression. And here, by the way, I'm creating sort of an entertainment fun room. I imagined, first having a Christmas dinner and then afterwards moving on to this room where you've got like a DJ booth and like a foosball table and generally just places to sit, have a bar, have a drink, really cool. You don't have a bar, you sit at the bar and have a drink. That's what I meant. You can also have like a protein bar, but that's, for after Christmas, and especially for after like New Year's Eve, when you've got like New Year resolutions and you decide to go sporting and stuff. That's, by the way, a really funny thing always. The gym gets so much more like busy after New Year's Eve, and then literally like 1.5 or 2 weeks later, there's almost no one left, and you're just stuck with everyone who went to the gym before New Year's Eve, plus a couple of extra people who decided to actually be strong and continue with their New Year's resolution. But yeah, that's just a little sidestep. We're very close to the end of the video already. Here I'm also adding a gym, just because it's sort of suited. The day after Christmas, you want to get rid of everything you ate and be healthy again. So therefore I thought it would be fun to add a gym. And then honestly, it's also a really simple room to create, which is the reason I honestly added it, because it was sort of quick. So here I'm creating the entrance, and then this is the end of the video. So Merry Christmas, have a Happy New Year, because maybe I'll upload before the end of the year, maybe I will not. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back later.